Thank God. Thank God it's Tuesday. Today's the 27th of June. So we're coming to the closing days of June. I hope everybody's excited about that. I'm coming to you today from the inside of the Indian family's garage. Evidently the air conditioning is out of service, and this is the only room with an air conditioning unit inside. And I think there's better light here than in my private room, or the hacker's former computer room. So I just want to go over some items of interest. It's been a while since I've done a presentation. It's just been too terribly hot here in Austin, Texas. It's over 100 degrees on a daily basis. Right now it's 91 degrees. And the sun has already gone down. That's right. 91 degrees and the sun, come over here. Get away from there. Get away. Don't knock that down. Cruz. The sun is already down and it's 91 degrees. So it's terribly uncomfortable, terribly hot, and not user-friendly. So call it global warming, call it what you want. I just call it hot, uncomfortable, and sticky. Some items of interest before I start this short presentation. Again, I want to apologize for not delivering more presentations on my channel, my YouTube channel. It's just been uncomfortable. So 91 degrees on June 27th. In 1844, Joseph Smith was murdered by a mob in Carthage, Illinois. And he was the founder of the Mormon religion, or Mormon outfit, organization. Call it what you like. He was the founder, and he was murdered by a mob in Carthage, Illinois in 1844. So I don't know whether it was a love triangle. Maybe Mr. Joseph Smith was playing around where he shouldn't have been playing around. Who knows? But why would they murder the founder of the Mormon movement? Maybe it was a power play for the top slot. Who knows what it was? But one thing is for sure, people have been murdering people forever. And unfortunately, they will continue to murder people forever and ever. Item number, another item in 1917, World War I, Greece declared war on the Central Powers. I don't know who the Central Powers were. I know World War I was started by one or two people, just like I guess the Ukraine war today started by one guy. And it's just amazing how one person in the position of power can inflict such hardship, pain, and death, misery, and misfortune on millions and millions of people. So history continues to repeat itself because the human mind has not evolved the same negative character defects or traits that were alive and well back in the 1800s, the 1500s, the 1600s. The days before today are still ripe and alive today. And that's why we have to tread lightly. Whatever that means. 1917. I guess back then it was cool to declare war on people. You didn't want to be the odd man out, so you just declared war and became part of everything that was that you could become part of, I guess. So that was 1917. And today, in this day, we lost one of the greatest actors in modern theatrical movie presentations. We lost Jack Lemmon. He was 76. It's very difficult to get out of the 70s. That's why when somebody reaches the age of 80 years young, it's such a very, very big celebration. It's just very difficult to get out of the 70s. And Jack Lemmon is another example of someone who's failed to get out of the 70s. He died in 2001 at the age of 76. And if you like movies, you'll love Jack Lemmon movies. He's one of those few actors that can do drama and comedy, and both very, very successfully. Watch The Days of Wine and Roses for some real drama, some real acting. You won't find any green screens in a Jack Lemmon movie. You won't find any computer-generated explosions or fight scenes or car chases. These were what we called movies, and they acted in the movies. And it was a wonderful time So if you're interested in acting and not green screens or superheroes, I suggest you look up Jack Lemmon's movie library, and you will not be disappointed. Those are the items of interest I have. Let's get back to why I'm making this presentation. I had a viewer suggest that maybe I would do a book review. And I ordered 2 books on Amazon. They came, one today, the one a few days ago. And I'll do that now for you who like to read. People say, oh, I don't like to read. I don't like to read. You do not like to read because you haven't found the book that gets you to like reading. Once you pick up a book that you find fascinating, you will become a reader. You'll never ever miss a film, but you will always miss a good book. You'll carry that good book and that story or that adventure or biography around with you for many, many years. Do what I do after you finish reading a book. Write down the name of the book and its author and the date that you finished reading that book. So you'll always have a list of all the books that you read. And if you want to recommend a good book to someone, a loved one perhaps, a coworker, an acquaintance, somebody from your church, maybe the Mormon church, don't get murdered. And you'll have a record of the books that you finished, read, dated, author, and you'll be able to transmit that information with ease. So that's a little tidbit for you people who are interested in reading, like reading, and don't mind reading. A lot of complaints. Oh, it's 400 pages. Oh, it's 600 pages. What else do you have to do? So what if the book, if it's a good book and it's got 600 pages, it's got 600 pages. Are you not reading it because it has 600 pages? Because you have to do what? What is it that you're keeping yourself from? Those are the questions you need to answer as I sweat to death here, even in the garage. Okay, the first book I'm going to review for you. This book I read quite some time ago. I bought these books as a gift that I'm going to give to a special person when that opportunity presents itself. This one is called John Perkins. It's by John Perkins, and it's Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I hope you can see that. And this is a very interesting story. This is a real life story of a gentleman who's travels the world on behalf of the United States foreign and economical policies, and convinces foreign governments and organizations to do business with America. And it's not always what you think it is. You really don't know anything as far as the media. They want to tell you about the cat that got rescued up in the tree or the horse that fell in the hole. And this is why books are so important, because they tell you what nobody wants to tell you. So this is John Perkins, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, and I think you'll find it very, very fascinating, some of the go-betweens and whatnot on how people do business internationally, representing the United States. And if everything works out well for these economic hitmen, so fine. So it works out just fine. But it also tells you what happens when the economic hitmen fail to achieve their agendas in their pursuit for business, treasure, and natural resources, you name it. And this is a very interesting read, so I hope you enjoy it. I don't want to give away too much. In this riveting personal journey, John Perkins tells of his own inner journey from willing servant of empire to impassioned advocate for the rights of oppressed people. Covertly or secretly recruited by the United States National Security Agency, or NSA, and on the payroll of an international consulting firm, he traveled the world to Indonesia, Panama, Ecuador, Colombia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and other strategically important countries. His job was to implement policies that promoted the interest of the United States they call it a corptocracy, I believe it's pronounced. And I'll leave it at that. You can imagine what it's going to deal with. And just that short little snippet, you'll decide whether you're interested in this type of book or not. But again, it's information, and it's based on true facts, relative, and or based on this person's truth. So that's that one. And I have one more I want to review for you. This happens to be my favorite book in the whole wide world. You've heard me talk about it many times, I think, if you've been following what I've been doing. It's called The Memory of Running, a novel by Ron McLarty. And this is a novel, and this is just a wonderful, wonderful book. And I'm not going to tell you anything about it. It's just a wonderful novel or story. It's a page turner. Once you start this book, you will not be able to put it down, and it's a book that I will reread from time to time, reorder from time to time. I think this is the third or fourth time that I've ordered this book, because I give it to people or I pass it along. And as in this case, I'm going to gift this book to a special person when that opportunity arises. I hope it does arise in the near future. But this is The Memory of Running, a novel about the adventures of this particular person, what happened to this person, how this person evolved from the person he was before the circumstances in his life changed, and the adventures that he experienced in that changing life, the people he met, the people he encountered, the characters that encountered him and their stereotypical reactions to him, and a climax that you would not believe. It's too involved, it's too good for me to spoil with any examples of situations that happen in this book. So you'll just have to take, it's available on Amazon, both these books, and it's just fascinating. It's just a great, great book. So that's it. These are the two books that I decided to review today for you. John Perkins' Confession of an Economic Hitman, and a novel by John McCarthy, The Memory of Running. So I hope you're satisfied with this little presentation. I've been kind of negligent with my presentations because of the heat, if that's an excuse. I do want to do a presentation on the 91 Toyota pickup. That's a very interesting video. Some of you younger people will find some of the accessories on these vehicles quite amazing compared to what vehicles look like today. So I want to get that done. I'd like to get the vehicle washed before I do it, and that hasn't happened yet either. So with that said, happy birthday to my sister Teresa Ann. Tomorrow, the 28th of June, will be my sister Terry's birthday. So I'm very excited about that. And I hope you have wonderful, wonderful birthdays, and friends as well. And remember, every day is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to give, to educate, and to sympathize with people less, or doing less, or experiencing less. And we all hope that we can give courage, hope, security, and courage to people all over the world who really, really need it. Coming around in the Indian Family's garage. All right, over and out.